Back to the Banana Republic. In this great Irish Republic we live in is now a Banana Republic because our politicians are, I don't know what you would call them, pile of lunatics. But yeah, what to hear the news. Let's hear the news, what the Irish politicians are talking about. So Leo, and his great wisdom, he's given out that people on social media being very toxic and bringing the Irish society down for being toxic. And I think they're doing a mighty job themselves, the government, because not paying the student nurses, he's whinging and quipping and crying that people are giving out, but him not paying the student nurses and paying the judges and paying the Taoiseachs and Taoiseachs, Bertie Howe, are the people who bankrupted this country. I think people have a right to be a bit annoyed and a bit angry about that. I think people have every right to be annoyed and angry about that because these people bankrupted the country and you're literally giving them a pay rise. It's beyond the laugh. It's beyond the land. It's beyond the laugh. And Leo was claiming that Irish people are toxic, that they're being toxic online people. And the government, they're doing it themselves. Everything they do is just bringing toxicity. It's toxicity to Ireland. Like everything they do, like honest to God, they couldn't do any. Like Golfgate, for example, how could anybody not get angry with the government saying stay at home, don't go outside? How dare you move outside your county? This, that, and the other. And then they went off and done it themselves. So I don't know. And had a Supreme Court judge there, O.T. Bussetta, loads of senators and TDs and everything. So I don't think they really have a leg to stand on saying that they're being people are being toxic to them, because again I think they've been very toxic to you and I, the people who pay them, and the taxpayer. So I don't think the irony here again, it's ridiculous. And then they're giving out about TDs being abused online and being called out really online for things that are. And I will not say sometimes it's unnecessary, some things that are called out. Like I seen what Simon Coveney has a few children. And I seen one comment at one time, and I think it was like some of these comments are very over the line and shouldn't be tolerated. Threatening his children, and his children had nothing to do with anything. Which shouldn't have, and I say this straight, shouldn't, something like that shouldn't have, like I don't like Simon Coveney, but I wouldn't go that low and start threatening his children. I seen that once online, and I did say to the person, that's a very mean thing to be saying. Like honest to God, it was very mean what they said to him, to say what he said to his children, and his children had nothing to do with it. Like I would pick a bone with Simon Coveney over what he's doing to the army state car, but I wouldn't bring his family into. His family has nothing to do with it. So I just say that to people, be like, again, if I ever question the TD online or anything, I do it often, but I try and be firm and nice. I don't try and be ignorant. I try and be firm to get my message through, and try and be a bit nice and a bit decent. I know it's hard to kind of put in the mix, but that's what I'm trying to do when I call out a TD online or anything like that. I try and be a bit decent. I try to be a bit being a bit nice, but being very firm at the same time in what I'm saying. But I think that's the right way of doing it. But obviously, they're not helping themselves. Like Charlie Flanagan, for example, our good friend Charlie, who is the big black and tan himself, and the black and tans themselves. He wanted to come in along with Leo. They wanted to come in with the black and tans, didn't they? It was a great time for them when they wanted to. But then again, everybody in this country said no. Everybody in this country said, why in the hell in the name of God would we spend money on commemorating the black and tans? And everybody in the country had a fair point. And the only people who were ignorant and very upset about it was Leo and Charlie. And Charlie was very upset about it. He was sulking for weeks and weeks about it. And he's always on about the black and tans. He's still to this day very upset about it. And anytime, like his comment section on Twitter and things like that, it's just full of black and tans. But again, he kind of deserves it, because I don't know what he was taking. I don't know what they were taking. There must have been a magic mushrooms or something like that, because I don't know what they were taking, because again, that was the most insane thing I've ever seen an Irish government ever think of doing. I don't know where they plucked that out of. I really don't. I honestly don't know. I tried to find logic behind it, but where the fuck did they get it? Like seriously, God, where the fuck did they think of that idea? But yeah, and obviously you have the former junior minister for defence, Paul Newman, abusing Donald Trump online and telling him to suck up the election, and then the day beforehand being at an anti-bullying thing. And again, these politicians are no better than the people, because again, these politicians are very, and then saying to the one person who questioned them, saying you got elected in the night count, saying you should win for election, and being sarcastic about it, and you're being sly about it. And you couldn't make this up. You really couldn't make. And again, pointing things out like student nurses not being paid, and then paying the judges and paying the ex-politicians who bankrupted this country. As I always say, it's a good Bertie Howen, Brian Cowan. They're giving them a big pay rise. It's a great country, you know. It's a great country, and then they whinge and quip and cry that they're being called out for it. I don't like. They only have themselves to blame for what they're doing, and people calling them out and annoying them about what they're doing. It's completely wrong. Everything they do is nearly completely wrong. Sometimes they do something decent. Sometimes sometimes they do something decent. But the majority of the time they don't give a damn what anybody thinks. They just do it. So we just say to people, it's no harm. It's no harm to question your politicians. Of course not. That's you're entitled to. They're public servant. You pay their taxes. You can question them as much as you want. Obviously, yeah, you can. Of course, you can. But obviously, try and be a bit firm and try and be a bit nice, because that's the way you can get through. Because that's the way I operate. I'm very firm, but I try and be as reasonable as possible with you. When I'm saying something to a politician, I'm always very firm. I say this has to be done. And there's no excuses, and I'll be nice at the same time. Try and be nice, and it's difficult. It's difficult enough, especially with some of the things these government does. You really find how to be nice and how to be humane with them. But yeah, it's a great country, as I always said. It's a great country.